Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. I'm laughing because I'm picturing there's a person, I think it's just one person, but they've been requesting Boris and Julie Bell for a while. I think it was a couple of people, though, but here it is. He's like doing backflips in his house right now. Yes! He's in the same pose as this woman. So, look, Boris Vallejo and Julie Bell. Fantastic artists. In fact, it even says right here, Fantastics. Art Fantastic Select. But this is going to be really fun. Beautiful, beautiful paintings. Kind of a photorealism, fantasy art. They actually, it's funny because I saw an interview with them recently, and they were saying that they actually lived really close to Frazetta, but they only ended up meeting Frank once. But obviously Boris was very influenced by Frank's work, as most fantasy illustrators were from a certain era. And you know, he doesn't do Frazetta. A lot of people, they want to jump, like, immediately compare the two. But Boris, did his own thing. It's more realistic. The figures are more based on realism and stuff like that. But he's still a really good painter. Trust me. Any person that's an artist would love to be able to paint as nicely as Boris and Julie do. So they're excellent artists. Some really cool techniques on this piece. All right, let's get into this. This is going to be fun. This is a PDF, so it's going to be a little laggy for a while. Man. It's crazy because I was messing around with acrylics and watercolor recently, and I went about it the wrong way because I just literally just poured materials out and was trying to apply it to paper that wasn't the right paper and over ink, and it was poorly prepared. But when I see art painted this nicely, I just go, oh man, I want to learn to paint so bad. I love the blending of colors. I love that it's traditional art, and man, it's just so cool to see what paint is capable of. Acrylic probably won't blend as smooth as this, but who knows? Maybe with the right circumstances, you could get some of these effects. And Mike Buttkiss right now is doing some acrylic paintings, and he said he was going for some oil effect. But man, the luminosity right here is so great. The only reason I'm hesitant to use oils is just I have a lot of allergies, and my skin and respiratory is all very sensitive to that, and I don't want to be messing around with chemicals and smells and weird shit. So I can't do oils in that way. But there are water soluble oils that might be an option for me. This is really, really cool. Man, he paints like this. It's funny because that actually looks like them young. Honestly, that looks like Boris. And I don't know Julie Bell as well, but it wouldn't surprise me if that's them. 78. Yeah, it probably is. Boots with the fur. Man, God, he blends colors so freaking good. Yeah, it's one of those things where people will they'll be like, it's too photo reference. It's like, okay, hotshot, let's see you paint something like this. I know that's not the point, but look, this guy is a very, very accomplished artist. Oh man, that is so cool. God, he really gets some great techniques. Now, a lot of their books are always, maybe some of the book is Boris and some of the book is Julie Bell. I'm not sure. The first time I was exposed to Boris' stuff, besides just seeing it sort of out in the wild, was I was given a calendar one year for Christmas, and it was a Boris calendar, and so I had that, and then I think I might have even ended up with a second one a couple years later. So for a couple of years, I would always have Boris up in my home studio. Look, Nick Manabat was heavily influenced. A lot of artists, in particular outside of the U.S., were heavily influenced by Boris and will credit him as an influence. And a lot of people really consider him to be one of their favorite artists. And there's a good reason for that. He's phenomenal. He really is. And Julie is a great painter, too. This is really nice. So these are pretty like wide spanning. We've got from the 70s up into the 90s. Yeah, from what I understand, they lived like literally like super close to Frazetta. It's so funny. What a weird coincidence. The whole Ken Kelly thing was very trippy to me too. That Ken Kelly was married to Ellie's sister, I think, and you know, I was exposed to Ken Kelly stuff probably before Frank, even though I may have seen some of Frazetta's stuff. But the Kiss albums that Ken Kelly did would have been my first exposure to that type of painting style. But you know, both are influenced by Frank. You know, Boris and Ken Kelly. This is really cool. But they all lived in the same neck of the woods. That was my point of that, is that because I had heard a story where Frank one time was talking. I don't know if it was a phone interview on the extras of the Painting with Fire, but he was talking about an artist that would come and watch him paint every night. And I was like, that's very weird. Like, just some artist like that lived by Frank would come over and paint. But I put the pieces together, and I'm nearly sure that it's Ken Kelly, because then I'd heard I think Ken in a Kiss interview talking about art, saying that he would go watch Frank paint at night and hang out for hours, and learned a lot from him. So here's a Julie Bell piece. Again, you know, really masterfully painted. I almost want to say that they have a son that paints, but I might be thinking of Brahm. So I've been going down the fantasy art hole the last few weeks. I started playing Dungeons and Dragons again with some friends that I grew up with, and so Sunday nights we play for a few hours. But it's got me like really like nostalgic and into like all the old fantasy art and this kind of stuff, and I just find it fun. And it's like, you know, I think part of it too is, as a kid, you know, you always, like, if you played a game like that, or if you were in art, you know, you always wish you could draw better and draw like the people that were doing the art for the module covers or in the books and stuff like that. Now I have skills, and so it's like I fight the temptation every day to like draw a dragon, or you know, like I have this desire to like try all these fantasy art pieces. Man, this is really cool. This is tough to do, to actually like have a figure fade out like this and not have it look weird, like he's like existing in the wrong spatial relationship of the piece. Because I'll sometimes have a layout where I'll have a figure and I'll go, I want them to fade out, and you do it in the like the black shadows on the body, or this will create some weird optical illusion. All of a sudden the character looks like they're standing closer than you want, or further away. And in particular in black and white art, because we don't have the opportunity to have value. So do you see how the values push and pull things back? Now, you can do it with line work, but you know, to try to do line work of something similar to this, really difficult to do. Now, you could do it with Copics, you could do it with a smudging technique or watered down ink, but yeah, I mean, ultimately in black and white, you just don't get the push and pull of value that can help set a character into the right plane, I guess. Man, these rocks are badass. So this is actually really fun for me to look at, because I was really getting excited about painting. I don't have enough time to pursue it right now, so I ended up actually giving it up as like a goal right now, because it's too, I need to be completely immersed in it to really, I think, give it a real go. And I'm just not, I don't have the time, so better to focus on what like the most important things. But this is Julie. similarity to Brahm too is that Brahm's wife is also a really good artist, so that it's like two artists in the house, and then from what I understand, again, children who are into art. So it's pretty cool. Man, this is good. Fuck, man, that is really cool. Catching some Caravaggio vibes on this one. The red and the flesh colors and kind of chiaroscuro shading. Oh man, the dragon's face is great. Oh man, this is so good. I've got about 60 pieces up, so if it's already feeling like the video is going to end soon, but I know that's not possible. Woofs. It's a pet peeve of mine. It's people that say pumpkin wrong and say wolf wrong. It's the little things that get you wound up, right? Now. Cat scratch fever. All right, what do we got here? It looks like that dude. I don't know what movie it was from. News anchor man? I don't know. It's not Ron Burgundy, but it's like that type of guy. Well, it's weird. Why is this piece flipped? Let's do it. There, take that. So this was the original composition. I like this better, to be honest. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna soak this in. The interesting thing with this piece is it ends with you looking this direction, this way. It's a little weird. So this one pulls you in, kind of brings you like this. But his signature is backwards. Alright, enough of that. Let's go. Ooh, what is this? This looks like a book cover, or it feels like it'd be like something for Jim Henson. Like a DVD cover for kids. Oh my god. The hairstyles are funny. 1988. These look like 70s hairdos. Or hair don'ts. Wait, what year? 88? These are not 1988 hairstyles. Oh, maybe mid-80s? I don't know. There's the funny thing about this one to me is like they're mermaids and like their hair is like they look like they went to get perms. They're very, very well taken care of mermaids. I don't know what all these pieces were done for. It would be kind of interesting to know. Man, this ground is painted great. I love that. Oops, sorry. Whoa. I didn't do that. Yeah, like, what are the, like, were these all for jobs? Or would they just paint and sell the originals and live off the money from the originals? This looks a little like Peg Bundy. Come to mama. Here's a 71. So this is one of the oldest ones we've seen so far. So there's two artists that do Frazetta that come to mind that I haven't mentioned in this video yet. One is Mike Hoffman, and Mike Hoffman is actually a really talented artist. He's a bit of an unusual guy, but I kind of like that he's so peculiar. It makes him interesting. And then I think I want to say Tom Greinberg, but I might be thinking of another artist. There's another artist that draws a lot like Frazetta and does a pretty good job of it. I think right now maybe he's doing Tarzan strips or something. Sounds weird, but I think someone I think had mentioned that. But I'd seen his work before, and he does a really really good. Like there's a lot of Frazetta in his stuff. Oh wow. Crazy. He really paints anatomy good. This guy's arm is wild. Be curious of their process if they freehand draw this stuff, meaning that they actually sketch the figures on the board and like draw it, or if they just take photos and trace them and then kind of continue the drawing from there. Doesn't really matter. Just more of a curiosity as a technique of the process. There's always something a little funner about like even if you're using reference, if you're at least drawing it. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, the hairstyles are a little weird for me. It doesn't like this doesn't feel era correct with a Minotaur coming at you. That's that's my only thing is they didn't have permanent waves in the medieval times. Oh, this is Julie. She paints such good animals. Man, it's great. All this is really good too. Man. Yeah, they're really, really great. Wow, the hands are awesome. Wow, that is so cool. This just takes years of doing pieces to get to this level. 92. One interesting thing about Boris's stuff is someone who I haven't seen his work in like a while. A lot of the interaction of the animals that he does, he really makes them quite a bit bigger than Frazetta does in like the pictures where Frank would have about the same distance. Like the human figures seem to be about the same size, but a lot of the beasts that Boris seems to draw are quite a bit bigger than the humans. Like the dragon head. It's rare that you'll see Frank draw something like that gigantic in a piece. The whole character might fill up that much space, but most of the time they're a little more like just over human size. Wow, some crazy shit. Kind of Giger-ish with just a different color palette. But again, I mean, this blending of oil paints back here with this loose, very almost like underwater effect is so cool looking. Man, it looks great. And this is all super creepy watching grayscale. Look how nice the values are on this. It's hard to do, man. She's controlling that in color too. That's the crazy thing is her color choices are so on point to have it look like that in black and white. That's like crazy shit that I don't know if people necessarily appreciate. Anyone that's gotten this far into the video would appreciate it, but that is not easy to do when you're talking about you're dealing with it in color like that. Good luck. You're gonna be you take you a while to learn how to do that unless you're taught it, and even then it would still be challenging. So this is Julia. Vroom vroom. Hellbike with Babe in a Hellbike. Whoa. Some interesting painting techniques on this one that I haven't seen her use. Like it's a little more graphic. It's like there's a few different styles that were kind of coming to mind. Wow, that's really trippy. Yeah, this is like it's like 3 or 4 different artist painting styles in one. Looks really cool though. It's got a nice graphic read to it. What year was this? 99. That makes sense. Because some of the stuff I'm thinking of is old school, and then some of it is more things that went on in the 90s, and so like it being from 99 makes sense. It looks like it's almost from like a Dark Sun role playing or Forgotten Realms kind of thing. Oh, this is cool. So she does a little bit more of the Giger thing in her work. I'm noticing like the bubbly egg kind of looking things. Cool dragon. Man, the sky is great too. Ooh, they're good. I was kind of wondering, have they done any tutorial DVDs or anything like that on painting? I would definitely want to check those out. That would be very, very cool. Oh, that's nice. And it's funny because it's very similar to that other style. Yeah, she's mixing a lot of different like eras of art and genres, and it's actually looks really, really good. It's got like almost like a cartoony, like there's a cartoony pop to the silhouette that she's putting on the characters. And man, it really pops forward. Like the contrast on the figure really moves it up. She's really got a good eye for value. Man alive, that is nuts. Yeah, that's really nice. Go back. Ooh, that's a trippy one. This looks like like it could be like it's painted in a more fancy way, but it reminds me of like a super old school like video game box art, like for like in television. But it's like I said, it would be a very cartoony drawing if it was that. But there's the image. It's like Breakout 1987, or well, I guess it would even be earlier than that. Oh man, it's funny. That's a cool piece though. I like it. I love fantasy art. I'm such a dork. I don't know what it is. It's just fun. She looks like an 80s actress. This is her older style. Or this is Boris. I was gonna say this is kind of Julie's older style. So I was guessing that this would be from before. But yeah, Boris kind of sticks to his approach to painting, which is kind of a soft focus on the background, much tighter on the figures. He throws in a little bit of the wild colors that Frank does occasionally. Get like a little bit of like a green, yellow ochre or something like going on in there. Then the peacock is pretty wild. The mask is cool too. These pieces would be insane in person. Oh man, I bet they're so beautiful. Wow, that's really cool too. Credit to them that they get along. I mean, obviously they're husband and wife, but not all husband and wives get along that well. That they really kind of became. Well, I mean, the fact that they'll share like an art book, you know, that they can collaborate on something like that is interesting because you know you could easily be married and get along great and just go, you know, you do your art book, I'll do mine, and you know, let's not like cross them over. But they do. Wow. I'm wondering now if I probably still have those calendars somewhere. I'm not one to really throw stuff away, especially if it has art in it. Maybe, but I kind of don't think so. I'm wondering now if like my calendar had Julie Bell art in it too, because seeing this kind of reminded, like it looks like one of the models, as weird as that sounds, but I'm sure that they probably did reuse models on some pieces. I would have got the calendar in probably like the maybe 96 or 97, I think is when I had it. So a long time ago. Interesting. It's not a very high res file of this one. It's funny. Cool piece. Different palette for sure than any of the other pieces in this book. Palette meaning color palette. So, like, I've talked about hair multiple times in this video, but I'm going to point something out and explain it, because I've mentioned it in other videos not relating to Boris and Julie. And one of the biggest challenges that one of the challenges that I found, not biggest, but of designing characters and stuff like that, is a hairstyle really tells a lot of story about a character. And if you've heard me mention it in other videos, like a bad guy, you know, when you give them hair, short hair, curly hair, is it neat? Is it hang in their face? It's like a really, really important part of their costume. Do they have bangs? Do they not? Is it feathered on the side? Does it go over the ear or not? You would be amazed at how much personality a hairstyle has and puts on a character. And it's tough because, you know, on top of the fact that you want something that looks cool on your character, odds are, if it's cool, like 50 million other superhero characters or fantasy characters will all have the same exact hairstyle. The ponytail is the same, the cut is the same. And so it's tough to find something that's somewhat unique and also fits the vibe that you're going for. But that's been one of the harder things of designing original characters, is the hairstyle in particular. I think why it was a funny revelation to me is I've always been able to draw hair pretty good. So hair was something that I never really had to worry about. But I never had to worry about it because I was drawing other people's characters. The hairstyle was already designed. It wasn't like I had, you know, a bald chick standing in a dress like this, and I had to come up with an idea of what hair, you know, hairstyle I was going to use. It's just funny shit that you wouldn't consider. Kitty, what are you doing, Kitty? That's a big cat. Oh, she's got wings on her feet. I'm now laughing at myself laughing, but it's like you know, like I picture like you're like sitting at home and you're like, I need to do a new painting. What am I gonna do? I got it. I'm gonna do a naked guy holding a huge abalone shell, what looks like an abalone shell, and pouring water over rocks. They didn't have to deal with Instagram. If I'm just drawing something for fun now, I'm like, oh, are people on Instagram going to like this or are they going to hate this? And then I end up just going with whatever I'm going to do. Let the pieces fall where they may. Yeah, their models really have like fancified hair. I mean, this dude looks like he just literally got back from the barber, and like, you know, like the, you know, your hair like is like blow dried and hair sprayed, and this too. It's I think because of the storytelling that's going on in these pieces, it would definitely help if there was more character to the hair. Hate to be critical of it, but it definitely creates a little bit of a disconnect to me. It makes them look more like models. I think the realistic figures and accuracy is not as much of a thing as the hairstyles. This is them. Very attractive pair. They could both be models. That's a really cool piece. I like this a lot. They have better hair, too. That's the thing. Man, this is really cool. I love the way that he painted the planets. What a cool couple they are. They're like models, painters. That could be them too. Starting to recognize her from the pieces. $19.79. Cool fists. Yep, this is good. Whoa, who's that? Wow, that's wild. Who is this? Is Julie? Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I wonder if these are for like an RPG game or something. Wow, that's crazy. Man, it's cold today at my house. It's so weird. Oh, wow, this is nice. Damn, the dragon's great. That almost looks like Braum. I think they're friends with Braum. That'd be funny if it's Braum. What year is this? 99? Could be. That's interesting. The dragon's really cool. I like the gesture. Oh, wow. This is cool. Damn. Oh, wow. I didn't even see the turtle thing. Crazy. Man, that's crazy. Wow, those feathers. They almost look like peacock feathers on that thing. Man, it's wild. Let's look at this one in grayscale. Yep, really, really good control of values, man. It's wild. Man. Okay. This bird's like, oh yeah, I found a naked dude. Jump, kitties, jump. His face, this cat's face is funny. He's like, hey, Jesus. This dude's determined. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, she really paints animals. Great. Damn. She really makes them pop. That's the interesting thing is, like, she gives the fur this very soft... I'm going to shut this. It's cold. Kidding. I'm cold. I'm going to shut this. Yeah, she gives it, like, a quality that the rest of the paintings have a different sort of texture to, but it really looks very, like, they really pop out. That's crazy. Oh, man, it's nice. Wow, what a great painting. Damn. I know, kitty. I was cold. I had to shut it. This is cool. Yeah, she was doing some really interesting stuff in, like, 1999. I like this weird... There's, like, just like you said, it's a weird hybrid of painting styles she's got going on. And it's really cool. Olivia did that where right around the same time, funny enough... Olivia was doing like the pieces were a little more cartoony and had a little bit more of a like they leaned more towards like an illustrative drawing than some of her more soft painted stuff, and it gave it like kind of like a comic book edge, I guess you would call it. But yeah, it's crazy. Like she's really able to dial in like she's so crystal clear, especially like right here, and then the other stuff is like. Yeah, just there's different. Yeah, it's just really wild. 1988. Wow, so that's another really cool dragon head position. These are pretty cool clouds. like those, I don't know what they're called. Like they look like orbs that bubble. But damn. Yeah, this is really cool. But yeah, if you check out like Nick Manabat stuff, you can see like some of the I'll turn this gray. Oh wait, gray? Gray. Alright, cancel. What is it? This? Why don't I turn it gray? There. Nick Manabat, like I'll darken this, but Nick Manabat will draw like monsters, and he has they almost look like this, like when he's done, but he gets this kind of like lighting on like his werewolves and stuff like that. But yeah, and then you're dealing more with a silhouette and then a little bit of this kind of stuff on it, but it looks pretty badass when you do it. But if you try to render a piece. Oh, there's multiple layers because of the PDF, I guess. Yeah, if you do it and it's this light, then you're dealing with way more values because you've got like light grays, medium grays, darker grays, black, and there could be 5 to 8 different values of gray. But when you get the higher contrast, yeah, I know. Oh, I got upset in some weird thing, I guess. Shut it down. Ooh, look at this. This is kind of cool. Is this the Cheshire Cat? Who is that? She's cute. Man, that tree is great. It's the Jabberwocky. Oh, well. This has got to be a Julie piece. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I would say that Julie is explored more styles in her work than Boris. I see different painting techniques and different influences come in. Boris is like definitely sort of stays in his lane. And that's a very, very broad generalization. He definitely evolved over time for sure and improved a lot. Man, the chrome on these teeth is badass. Wow. Yeah, these feel like role-playing game covers. Oh man, that's cool. Damn, that's awesome. There's a little bit of a weird tangent with her face and the monster's face. They're so close to each other that it creates an optical illusion where she almost looks like she's in front of him at times, like depending on how I look at it. But man, the anatomy on the monster thing is super badass. What's weird is it almost feels like he's got, I guess these are arms down. This almost felt like kneecaps, like this right here, like a leg coming forward. I'm doing this with a mouse, but these almost felt like legs coming forward, like going backwards but forward. But I think it's their other arms. That's the elbow, and then these are hands underneath, like it's holding itself up with that. I guess he's some kind of almost like a centipede or something. He might even have more arms. Man, that is so kick-ass. This is a great piece. Well, that's cool. I was gonna say this is very like it's very well painted, but it's super like looks more like someone early in their painting career, and definitely going for kind of more of the Frazetta thing with this stuff. So really cool. Ooh, look at this. This is nice. 1992. It's funny because so far I don't recognize any of these from the calendar that I had, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't in it. But none of these ring a bell. A Julie bell, no. That's interesting. Another RPG game cover, maybe, I don't know. Seeing this is a very different painting style. And even this, the way that she painted this, it almost has like a Roy Krinkle vibe. Not the characters, but some of the other stuff and the color too. She really got like a vintagey look on this. It's actually very cool. Wow, look at this. The hairdos. 1990. That tree is sick. Oh, Bisley. We forgot Bisley. I forgot Bisley. But Bisley can... Man, he does this stuff so good, too. Oh, my God. The Biz. And if you like Bisley, I've definitely done videos on Simon Bisley, so you can check those out. This went a little longer than I was planning. Oh, it's nice. Damn. The vein. Wow, super cool. All right, that was it. So, I hope that I satisfied your desire for Boris and Julie Bell, my friend. I told you that I would do a video on them. So, hope everyone has a great day. That was really, really fun to check out. It was something that I hadn't seen in a while, so it was interesting to see some beautiful, beautiful painting techniques. And overall, I really enjoyed it. You know, I can very easily enjoy my Frazetta and then come to that art for a different fix. You know, the painting techniques are really expertly done, so it's fun to see techniques like Frank used, but done at such a like a more intricate level, you know. So it's really kind of cool to check out. So all right, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.